Morning, welcome to another video, and today's video is a reading vlog. This lip gloss low-key is not my shade. It's a bit darker than I personally would like. It's the NYX butter gloss in the color ginger biscuit. Is what I have on, so if I look a bit funny. Time is 11:30 a.m. In the last video, the 2025 TBR list, I talk about my reading goals. For February, I am reading books based on romance. In this specific vlog, I'm reading these two books. Even though by now I'm done with this one, but I did film that. If you are interested, you can stay until like towards the end of the video to check out me reading this and possibly my thoughts as well. I enjoyed this way more than I thought I would. I'm realizing that I like nonfiction way more than I need to admit. So I don't know if I said, but this is the book Martin Luther King Jr.'s Letter from Birmingham. Very short, but I did like highlight quite a bit, a lot of valuable relevant information in here. Today's book is Beach Read. Yeah, kind of clueless about what this book is about. For some reason I thought it was Friends to Lovers, two writers, one holiday, a rom-com waiting to happen. Wait, oh, I don't know, clearly I have no clue what's going on with this book. I am also reading The 7 Years Slip. I thought I'd be done with it by now, but it's actually very difficult to get through. It's just kind of like, I don't know, like I just don't understand what's going on. And then the writer or the main character will tell us about the guy's blue-gray eyes for 15 times in one chapter. And it's like, okay guys, we get it. She really tries to go the extra mile in a way that feels a little unnatural. So anyways, on to Beach Read. I started it last night. Bro, I'm not even trying to decry, but page 1, she just mentioned something I wrote about yesterday, my Substack. So she's like, the thing you learned to do to protect themselves and can't let go of, even when it stops serving them. Literally googled, like, I was looking for this specific description yesterday on my Substack and I forgot what it's called. And then I ended up putting a picture to represent what I was trying to say, which is this. Okay, but I'm about to leave the house first and I'll, I guess, continue this when I get back. Let's continue Beach Read. I'm only 5 pages in, and of course, always a man. I'm actually shook, but I won't spoil anything. But that's actually so funny. Okay, updates. This is gonna be a realistic vlog. Why does my hair look funny? So updates. The time is 8 p.m. and I've only read this much. To be very honest, I was really distracted like throughout the day. Actually, I shouldn't be at my laptop at 8 p.m. I just sent out an email. I should have sent out like during the day, but as long as it gets done. Okay, this is how far in I am. Page 41 actually, and so far it's really interesting. Like I actually am enjoying this, so I'm really happy because I was starting to think there's something wrong with me and the romance genre, but this is interesting enough. So I'm going to clean my room and then I don't know. I don't want to say I'm gonna read this today. Yes, that's the update for day 1. It's almost 8 p.m. I'm gonna finally sit down to get into this for the day. And oh yeah, I did my nails. So that's the plan for today. And I'll probably, oh wait. Low-key match. Anyways, the main character in this book, the female main character, is low-key so delusional because she will literally like do something or say something obvious, right? Or say it. Like literally words out of her mouth, say it. And then the male main character will repeat it back to her. And she'll be like, oh my gosh, he sees right through me. Like, The X-ray. He's an X-ray. He sees. I've never been read before like this. Girl, what? Like you literally just said so. You literally just said so. Seeming to X-ray me like that. Babes, is it an X-ray or did you literally just say so? Continue. I'm realizing, but I will come back with conclusions after I'm done with this book. Last update of the night. I was right in the middle of reading this. This is how far I got. I even had a playlist going and then power left. And now I'm sleepy and annoyed. Page 105. I'm gonna sign out for the night. But at the end of the day, one thing is for sure. Research will have to be done. Studies will have to be made. Papers will have to be published on what the common obsession is with romance books and telling us that the main character is so small, like she's so tiny, and they love. Oh my gosh, where are the 5'7" baddies? But guys, we heard. Oh, the point I'm at now, just over halfway. 3 stars. Sorry, it's not reaching 4 stars. My review so far. Now, it's not the end of Wednesday today, but I might just be done for the day. This is how far in I am. So I'm at page 228, which leaves me a little bit to finish it. Could I finish this today? Theoretically, I could. Realistically, I don't want to. It's giving, I actually don't want to spend another several hours of my day on this book. When it gets like this, when a book gets like this, I'm thinking of things that might enrich me better and not having to kind of force my way through, which is kind of what I started to feel like. I don't hate the book, but I'm a bit disinterested in the story. It's not gripping me, it's not captivating me. But you know, thinking if I leave this section, if I leave off here for the day, I could kind of divide the rest in half and finish this Thursday, Friday. Like what I'm saying, I don't want to spend too many hours of my entire day reading this. So practically it makes sense to kind of like divide it. But I'm also like, I don't want to have to spend a Friday finishing this book. Like, I'm going to do something else right now and see how I feel closer to bed. If I want to finish this today or tomorrow, unlikely Friday, but who knows, we'll see. Today is the final day that I plan to read this book. I don't care how much is left. I want this out. I just started reading like maybe 20 minutes ago. Okay, maybe 10, I don't know. All I can say is it is a little bit painful to get through this book, like this final day, just because I think I'm aware now that I'm over this book. I think it could have been 100 pages shorter, so that's where I'm at. And I have finally decided to pull out these tags, and I'm going to tag this specific page because I think this page is probably like the epitome, perfect example of why I'm over this book. All of the writing and the story just doesn't make sense. Like, it's very incoherent to me. So I don't know. What? Page 300 reached. Boom, let's push. I'm finishing this today, actually. I've decided. No Friday reading. Final chapter. done. We're done. We're done. Oh my goodness. We are finally done with the beach read. Well, that was a journey. Feeling kind of bittersweet right now. Towards closer to the end, I was over it. If you asked me, I'll say halfway or 70% in the book how I felt about it, I would have said it's 2 stars or 2.5 stars. But a little section somewhere reminded me why I had such high hopes for it in the beginning. I want to give a spoiler-free review. Somewhere between this portion of the book, genuinely not that good, but somewhere afterwards, until maybe the last chapter, the last 2 chapters kind of went back to what I didn't quite like about the book. But there's like a sweet spot that might have bumped it up to a 3, so I'm still in between a 2.5 rating and the 3 stars. First of all, the book wasn't horrible, don't get me wrong, but it was pretty painful to get through. I felt no connection to the characters or to the romance. I even felt like the romance takes away from the story of the book, even though the romance is 90% of the story. But there is another, like, a little bit of a background plot to this book. Usually that was the most interesting part of this book, when the story kind of leaned back into that, like in that sweet spot I'm talking about. I again was like, wow, I see why this is interesting. It's like, as I was reading and I went to look up reviews on Goodreads, and obviously this has crazy amount of 5 stars, 4 stars, even on Storygraph. And I saw like the little hidden reviews. So one of the people in the reviews called Emily Henry's main characters, like her female protagonist, whatever, called them twee, and I was like, that's so true. This main character, I don't want to say childish, but yeah, like she was very frustrating at certain points. The male main character, he was also very irritating to me. I didn't mind him, but I think he was very like nonchalant. Like he was nonchalant, and even if you have your reasons, like it doesn't matter if you have your reasons for being nonchalant, you are nonchalant at the end of the day. And then that made her be annoying as fuck. One thing as well, felt like she could not have a moment without thinking about this dude. Like literally she could be like thinking about something sad, and then she'd be like, oh, and there he is looking at me with those piercing eyes. And next thing, okay, I won't say any spoilers. Like it was very jarring sometimes, like reading a specific part and the next thing there he is, and it's like, that is what my main issue was here. Like when I wrote this, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, brothers? What are we doing this for, brothers? I hope you guys know that video.
What are we doing this for, brother?
It could have benefited from dual POV, being subject to this girl's thoughts the whole time, and then the male main character suddenly comes out and he's like, actually, this. It's like very, not inconsistent, but it's very like, the fuck? Like, are we supposed to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. But then when it happens, like, it's like, I think it would have benefited from having that dual POV, just so you can understand him a bit better as well. That little disconnect. One more thing as well, I looked up Emily Henry. It turns out that some people said this is not really romance, it's women's literary fiction, women's babes. In what world? This is a romance down. This is 90% of this book is romance. Like literally 95% of it is romance. Romance in its most contemporary form. It's romance down. Like I don't know who been saying that, who you trying to convince. This is not a rom-com. It's not a rom-com. Not much made me laugh in this, no problem. But it is romance down. It's romance. So anyways, but I can see why someone initially would think this is literary fiction, because that first, like I think I read it to you guys in the beginning, then it got very romancy very fast, very contemporary. But that is it for my spoiler-free review. Now if you don't want spoilers, you can click off. Thank you so much for watching, love you. But if you don't want a spoiler, I'm gonna reference something. See, I tagged the stuff like about what annoyed me, so I'm gonna like just go over, I think maybe one of them specifically.